Hey, that worked out pretty good.
Welcome to Action Economy. Investment...
Market crash.
Market crash.
Yeah. We forgot our own name. At least Austin did.
So,
I did.
I'm eating Skittles. Just thought you should know.
Okay.
I'm sure the listeners enjoy that.
Look at those chickens, they're up there.
Yeah.
Yo, that's pretty big style.
No one listening knows any idea what we're talking about.
Ignore the chicken talk.
Welcome to Market Crash.
Hey, we did it. We defeated Strahd. I almost
Yeah.
said we killed Strahd, but that wouldn't be
We
right.
gooped him first.
No, he
got misstated. There's a difference.
So, yeah, we got another campaign in the old wallet. Put it in the back pocket. Save it for later.
Maybe.
I don't know about saving that one for later.
I don't want to go back. Unless we're trying to kill my character.
Your character, or the other person's character here, like
Stephanie's character?
can't remember the character's name. Celestinia's character.
She's in a domain of dread, though. That's off. Like, my character went back to real world and was basically like, alright, should we pause here?
There's a train going.
Are we going to continue?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Technically, under the rules of 5e and specifically the adventure, both Celestina and Rainier were long gone.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't tell any of you, or even Stephanie really, but she failed her first. Like, you touched all those various things and got all those powers before you finally rolled low enough that it's like, you're now under the control of the DM. No, she rolled her bad on her first one.
Nice.
And so she was technically gone right from the start.
I'm gonna be real honest. The second I was like, you were like, oh yeah, there's lots of powers you could get if you touch all of them, but you could become evil. I'm like, this is exactly what I want, and my character's not planning on sticking around. So I'd just be like, well, I'll just die after this, grab all the power she can, and then become like, after all, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I rule the country that was robbed from me?
Yep. So yeah, the party lost 2 members technically.
Not early on. Late in.
Earlier than may have been
Early into the late game, let's say.
earlier than may have been immediately evident.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised with Austin, to be honest.
Yeah.
An agent of chaos, as always.
I love chaos.
Give him like an inch, he'll take a literal 100 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how it works
To the
in D&D.
detriment of myself.
this is true. I really honestly started this thinking that it would be easier to run a published adventure.
There's another train coming.
Jesus.
All the trains.
As soon as we decide to record.
Welcome to Living by Train Tracks.
ASMR.
Oh, Dot Hack Sign.
Yeah. That is dual audio. I believe.
So, yeah.
So dull.
I do not like running published adventures anymore. Curse of Strahd is generally considered to be the best one, and it felt super restrictive as a DM.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem with Curse of Strahd, not just from our game, but from what stuff I've heard, is that towards the end of the game, it's just kind of like, oh, I mean, let's finish this already.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
It just kind of peters off a bit.
It does, because there's if you do all the stuff there is to do in Curse of Strahd, you're going in and out of the castle all the time. And so I kind of tried to facilitate that a little bit, but you're not really able to do that as written. And so it's
Well, and also we made characters that were more subtly aware of the threat than most, I imagine.
Yeah.
You okay there, doggy?
That is definitely true.
So, like, we were being overly cautious about just palling around with Strahd.
I mean,
I was being overly cautious about palling around with everybody. I liked you, Lucas, from like the beginning, and I was like, yeah, this is a good person to vibe with because he seems like, one, you seemed easy to kill, two, you gave me a direct path to kill you if I so chose,
Yeah.
and three, you seemed sad but able to gain power, and so if you were with me, I was like, that's a good card to have in my pocket.
Well, Lucas definitely trusted you more than everyone else.
Honestly, a mistake.
True. But it was mostly due to the fact that you were like the only one who seemingly had like objectives, and everybody else kind of seemed like they were just lost here, and so. And then everyone, it like became apparent, okay, all of our paths are aligning here. So who do I trust the most? That's the person that I'm going to bring up. And it's like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen when I get in there. So in case it's really bad, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did something bad. So I trust you to be able to take me out.
Yeah, the way I saw the party was Celestina was a weird magic user that was probably fucked up. I probably am gonna have to kill her. There was the weird monster hunter who didn't really say anything about his backstory or do anything about anything. And I was like, this dude's gonna shoot one of us in the back. He's an assassin or something. I don't know what's up with this guy.
To be
I'm
perfectly
keeping an eye on
honest,
him.
I got kind of bored with the character towards the end. I just stopped caring.
I was like, I'm keeping an eye
How
on
it
this
goes.
one.
I feel like that's a problem I have a lot with characters. I just
Well,
long
I've been in that
campaigns.
position
I'm just
before.
like, I get tired.
You were the magic harp of the group, where if you became my friend, you'd be a powerful ally in the future, but I could kill you easily in the beginning if things weren't panning out my way.
I make a character and I just get excited and everything, and then like halfway through the game, it's like, kind of not feeling this anymore.
And then there was a druid that I was just like, nature guy, I guess. I guess he's mad at the other one, so we'll murder them. And then I guess he'll be an ally. Cool to have a dog with me if I go to take over my country. I guess. I didn't really see you as a threat or an ally, you were just kind of there.
fair enough. I mean, I'll be kind of honest. When I made the character, it was super funny because when Tom told me we were doing Curse of Strahd, I'm like, okay, cool. My brain, with other characters I made, I always wanted to do edgy stuff for some weird reason, or animate stuff to some extent. And then Sebastian comes around, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be edgy with him at all. I don't know why. I just never went edgy with him. And then the more that I talked with Tom, I'm like, okay, I like this. This is a good backstory. And then it just worked out.
And then, leading up to the, the plans I had for your character were pretty much just like, yes, here's this eternal blood spear.
Mother, I create violence.
No.
But, yeah, I will say I did enjoy playing Sebastian just because I was actually able to do experimentations I haven't done yet with other characters before, and that was kind of neat.
Yeah. I do like playing a sorcerer, I will say that.
Still have yet to play Sorcerer.
It's pretty cool.
In 5e.
Sorcerer's fun.
I've never played another edition, so.
Well, pretty small style of you.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, ignoring
Shots
that.
fired.
Well, it's not my fault I didn't start playing until 2015.
I figured for, I'd say, the first half of the campaign that everyone apart from Austin was holding back. That's what I assumed. But then about halfway through either not using your big spells or not revealing some particular thing about your character.
Well, I mean, I didn't say anything about my character.
But
so.
it was about halfway through before I realized, no, that's the way they're going with it.
The only the only reason I wasn't holding back or anything was my plan was to have, like, I'd be kind of in the open with people that I trusted or knew I could kill, and, like, it just makes sense for me to, like, make allies and have people to protect me.
Yeah.
And why would I hide this fact?
Lucian's whole thing
later
was
on.
that he didn't really feel any particular need to. I mean, like, why would he?
And also, quite technically...
There isn't really any reason to.
And quite technically, the thing that I was hiding was that in my headcanon, I was going to go fucking power crazy with what was in the Amber Temple if that option arose. And it'd be up to the party to stop me,
Yeah.
which they did not.
And the other
I
thing
tried.
is,
But I
He
was
wasn't
You
really-
gave me a stern talking to.
I did.
And then stopped.
that's true.
Okay. Like,
Gave you a stern
I'm
talking to, but was also like, I can't do anything.
what was I gonna do? It was like, if you lay your hand on that, I'll cut you down.
I mean,
Like, that's kind of a
maybe.
dick move. I'm not gonna do that.
I was also going to
It's
say
literally-
Lucian
You
didn't really
literally
hide
could just
anything
be like,
either, though.
I'm gonna kill you because that thing
never
is
really questioned
evil.
you much about
And if you
it.
turn evil, I'll kill you.
If you had
problem is
pressed
that's
hard enough,
very
I
much
probably
not
would
Luke.
have said something, but
The problem with what you suggested, Austin, is that's very much not Lucas's MO for
And
how to
that's
deal with
fine.
people.
That's fine. That just means that I get to be evil and go back and be a tyrant.
Regardless, I'm happy with the way things turned out.
Same.
yeah, it was pretty good.
I will say, like, the biggest thing that caught me off guard was literally at the end, when
Yeah.
the entire time we were, like, up, like, after we met Mordenkainen, it was just a homunculus that was you.
Yep.
That was pretty kick-ass.
After I heard what the initial plan was for I forget her name,
Silka.
Vasilka, I was like, oh man, that'd be sick if I could do that. And then I was like, well, what if I could? And then I started thinking about it, I was like, but there's that spell that lets me reanimate corpses and stuff like that. And so I talked with Tom, like, could I, instead of getting like a gift or anything like that, could I just like do this weird thing where I make a copy of myself and I plays the copy for a while and I've got the same poison or whatever in me and I can bait Strahd into giving me the suck and then I'll pop out and I'll get him. And I didn't expect to have a one-on-one duel. I kind of expected Strahd to give some sort of speech and then send all the minions after us. So when he started
Minions, attack!
when he started talking to me, I was like, "Oh God, what do I do? What do I do? What should I do?" Like,
When you have anxiety talking to yourself.
yeah,
Man, fucking, you outstrouted Strahd.
yes,
True.
You were the better Strahd.
indeed.
Strahd has overcome.
I was given all of his spells, didn't use one.
So, want to hear some of the secrets that you guys never found?
Yes.
Sure.
Where was the gun?
Yeah, where was the gun? I wanted
Up Strahd's ass.
one of these campaigns. I'm gonna get that gun.
The gun is in the tombs underneath Castle Ravenloft.
Which we did not.
Can I
We
ask?
were in there.
You're Strahd now. You could just give me the gun.
I could, but why would I do that?
There is a bunch of BS down in that dungeon. There's like tons of tombs.
Come back in a couple of years once I've sifted through everything.
Clean out the dungeons.
Yeah,
Why do we
spring
even still
cleaning.
have this troll?
Why are there witches down here? Shoo!
Go back to the phone bill.
Those orphans are dead.
The metal grinder.
But yeah, when did all the people we sent there died?
Oh, right away. The witches came back like as soon as you left.
Damn.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we didn't kill them.
Yeah, that was like
The metal grinder did not last very long.
Nope.
Back to bone grinding. Looks like bones are back in the menu, boys.
Yikes.
no, actually in the Dungeons and Catacombs of Ravenloft, there's a bunch of stuff. Because you've got a bunch of regular things that are like, oh, this is a dungeon stuff, but then there's a whole section of the book here that's just like lists and lists and lists of dungeons and things that are in this tomb and what's in this tomb and what's in this tomb. There's a glowing sword. There's a there's a bunch of really cool treasures in the dungeons underneath. Sergei's tomb's down there. Strahd's tomb's down there. There's a bunch of stuff down there, including, I believe, the gun is in there. And then there's a bunch of references that are like joke reference crypts.
Here lies Shrimpo.
That's extremely small style of you to say.
Why? It's a Divinity reference.
Yeah.
There is
All 5 of you that played Divine Divinity, you probably love that reference. Good game though. Actually play it.
so one of the tombs is actually for Strahd's horse, Bucephalus. That he
Whoa.
rides. This is what it says on it: Bucephalus, the wonder horse. May the flowers grow ever brighter where he trods.
I actually love that.
You
The
actually,
Wonder Horse?
Yep.
Strahd actually cares about his horse, yo.
Oh yeah.
The
He
one
loves
that
that horse.
Just like for Don.
Let's see here.
Horse is pretty big style.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of jokes in the crypt. So like there's Sir Klutz Tripsolotsky.
Me.
He fell on his own sword.
Same.
Brutal.
Yeah, that would
He
be
rolled
me.
several nat ones,
Yep.
and then proceeded to roll that one on his
His save.
his death saves. Does it take one, like...
That is very Strahd though.
Yeah.
Baskel Offenheis, Chef Deluxe.
Whoa.
Chef Deluxe.
Chef Deluxe.
This isn't just a chef. Chef Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Chef Shaft Deluxe.
Means it's got a gloss finish.
He's glazy.
He's got that maple glaze.
Yeah. No, he's got the Fruity Pebbles syrup
Oh
glaze.
lord.
Sir Eric Vonderbucks.
Wonderbucks.
Let's see here. There's Petrina Velikovna, one of the brides. She's a spectral elf banshee.
Oh.
If you can manage to bring her back to life, you can. That's Casimir, one of the elf dude, who you guys talked to in the house by on the hill underneath. That's his
I thought
sister.
they were drow.
No, they're dusk elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dusk Boys.
They're like a gray color.
Yeah, there's a couple of I forgot what her name is. The
Ex-wives.
Yeah, Strahd's ex-wives.
yeah, ones that were previous reincarnations that are no longer. And
They're just kind of floating around, yucking it up.
pretty much. You could see that the Strahd has already prepared one for his next wife when you're down there. Sir Cedric Spinwidovich, also known as Admiral Spinwidovich. Confused though he was, he built the greatest naval force ever assembled in a landlocked country.
Nice.
Yes, Elsa Falona von Twitterberg. She had many followers. There's all sorts of jokes all the way through here.
Who knew that Strahd was up at the times? Very cultured.
Distinguished.
Yeah, it's quite distinguished gentleman. Look at how he sits.
Big style.
So yeah, there's a bunch of ones that are in here that are like all different like possible places where the treasures of Ravenloft can be found, like the sword, the things like that. And yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of like jokes.
So
and
I
joke
have a
type things
question.
in there. Yes.
About the sword, the silver greatsword.
Yes.
The one that judged you a lot.
Yeah. Why didn't it like anybody else?
Okay, so specifically, the sword was looking for details about alignment and intentions,
Okay.
and it disapproved of everyone else's intentions except yours.
Oh, I was just the least evil. Or not evil, the least worst choice.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're the best of the worst.
Well, also, what was your intentions? Just leave?
Well, at the time, I think my intentions were just to figure out what was in the castle, but my alignment was good. Because I was supposed to be the good part of Strahd, so...
I'm just saying that you didn't really have, like, much ambition or anything like that.
Not really, yeah, at the time. But once I figured out what was
I feel
going
like
on...
the rest of us
like,
had very specific purposes.
Yeah.
We were corrupted by the flames of ambition.
Although, I'm not gonna lie.
I was just trying to save my land, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I was easily swayed by that sword.
So, who also happens to
Very
be...
easily swayed.
I was just trying to save my homeland.
And all you need to do is goop Strahd. Just ever so
No,
slightly.
not necessarily.
He didn't. He was looking for one potential method.
And then, we happen to find out that later on that he's not needed for a shot anymore because the guy's back. He's
Yeah.
like, Daddy's back.
Oh, Lord.
When we had a guest on that played, what was his name? The Lord of Darkon.
Oh, I don't remember his fake name, but it's Aslan Rex.
Yeah,
Aslan Rex, yeah.
His actual name.
I don't remember what name he used.
No, I was referring to just Aslan Rex. But, like, the whole interaction there where Lucas is, like, basically just done with Aslan Rex's crap.
I was quite entertained by those interactions.
Same!
Which ones? This
Aslan Rex, the guy that Lucas got really pissed off at.
Yes. He was great.
And then, like, literally later...
Zalhonan was his name.
And then literally later on, like, you were, like, somewhere else talking to someone, and you just hear the name, you just kick a bucket or something. Like, screw you.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with, at the very least I was pleased with Lucas. I was easily swayed by that sword that you gave me. Anytime it was like, I got a bad feeling about this guy, I was like, alright, that means I kill, right?
Right, check time.
Yeah.
Babe, it's 3 a.m. Time to kill more vampires. Alright, dear.
I mean, to be fair, though, when
It didn't steer us wrong.
It didn't. The funny thing is, like, when we were in Strahd's castle, like, those, or they weren't hags, they were witches, right?
No, they were hags.
Okay, well, the 3 hags that ambushed you.
Tried to kidnap me and goop me.
Yeah, basically, and then, the sword's like, alright, I'm about to smite these fools.
I got some big damage off throughout this campaign.
That sword was really good.
That sword was really good. The Sun Sword was really good, especially when I paired it with, what was it, Branding Smite or something?
Branding Smite.
Ew.
That was a lot of damage.
It was real big style fire damage.
Nah, man, radiant damage.
True, yeah, Radiant.
Yeah.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
There it was. But for a moment.
The whistle.
Yeah, okay. The one thing I got, and Lucas is like, no. And then literally both Lucas and Sean were like, you could just whistle and fart out a sound, or, the universe would die. You never know.
Well, that's the thing. If you had been given the whistle, or if, you found it on, an adventure or whatever, I'd probably be a little less inclined for, it might be cursed. But the fact that you just found it on the ground is super suspicious.
The whistle was quite simply just a enhanced dog whistle, but tuned to a specific frequency, and that all the werewolves in Barovia know the sound of. And so it's specifically meant as a signal to werewolves to come to this location. So could have been good, could have been bad.
I also did not have Identify at that point.
Yes.
By the time I got Identify, completely forgot about the whistle.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there was a few times I was tempted to just blow it. One of the times being inside Strahd's castle, right at the beginning, because I was just kind of curious about what happened. Because technically, we were guests at Strahd's at that point. I use that term very loosely.
So maybe he wouldn't have let anything bad happen?
Yes. That was the idea.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I would have if we were in Strahd's castle or like a town, I would have blown it.
I know you
just
would've
imagine if it like
Yeah.
summoned wolves and then they're like, "Oh, this is Strahd's place. Fuck
Werewolves.
you."
Yeah.
They just walk up to the castle. Wait, turn around.
Rainier would just be like, "Is this power?" and blow the whistle.
It'd be, oh,
The fucking Evangelion meme. Is this
What?
power?
I guess I'm being called here.
Guess we gotta go kill this entire town.
Something's going on.
The orb.
Yeah, the orb
that you never attuned.
Or
Yes, I was gonna ask
never
about
did
that.
I
So,
risked my
I
life
kept forgetting
for you.
about it.
I'm gonna go get a pop.
He's so mad they had to get a pop.
I've drove him to drinking. I'm so ashamed.
The orb was an alternative
And you don't
exit
even
from
drive.
Ravenloft.
Oh,
But specifically, it wasn't into anywhere good.
Oh.
It was. You could have used it potentially to get into the outer planes, which for you wasn't as bad. But
Who said you?
But why would we have done that?
well, there was going to be something on the other side trying to convince him to open a gate.
Okay.
it's Sauron.
No, it's gonna be the Oblivion Gate Crisis on in Ravenloft.
I'm just gonna look into it and be like, I see you.
Oh,
It was,
Okay, put it back in the bag.
It was going to try and start enticing you to become a warlock and try to form a pact. But its primary idea was just like, I want to get into this, plane. I have a way in here now, finally.
Finally, after 10,000 years, I'm free!
for 1,000 years I lay dormant. Who has this? Oh,
Who's this guy?
Who's this loser?
And the last one was something, actually the first one I planned out, that by the time it came up, we were already getting to the point of like, yeah, let's move on. But at Kresk, up in the mountains north of Kresk, is a monolith. Inside that monolith is originally was suggested to be Lord Soth or Duke something or other, Duke Gundar or something. There's one suggestion about who you should have there, but I was like, none of these are interesting, so I made a Pillar Man.
Nice.
Literally like a vampire.
Nice.
Guy. He was going to be a super powerful monk type character.
Just name him Trucks. And yes, that was a motherfucking JoJo reference.
yes.
But the idea was going to be he was going to come out and then just start. He was going to take. If that happened, he was going to take over the plot, and that pretty much everything else was going to be. Because I wasn't going to use traditional stuff with him. It was going to be like, yeah, no, you can't damage him.
Cool.
You have to run now.
Now, he wasn't going to be immediately hostile, but he was going to be very much like not caring about anything that was going on. And
Yeah.
so
You guys are flies.
you guys were going to have to find a way to handle him somehow.
Notice me, senpai.
Shut up.
Okay, I will. I'll shut up for the rest of this entire talking podcast.
Me, you know what? Me too.
Same. I just like how all of us look for
He was like, I'm not making a promise like that. No. I knew right from the start that I wasn't going to be doing just straight up Curse of Strahd because I was way too into reading the Mystopedia and the Ravenloft stuff. And
Yeah.
I got in the old Ravenloft book and I'm like, this stuff is cool. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of like chronology stuff. And I know they wanted that with 5th edition. They kind of are doing they're pulling a Star Wars Legends where they're like, yeah, none of that's canon anymore technically, but
Yeah. There's nothing to stop you from using it.
exactly. And so I wanted to, but I forgot to really keep track of it. There's a whole
was that?
system for.
What was that?
What was what?
It was like a noise.
Been blowing his nose.
Oh. I was like, what
Quit
the fuck?
derailing the podcast.
No. They all want to hear about you blowing your
I thought you
nose.
stepped on like a thing of soap.
All
or
of your
something.
fans.
Well, I stepped on a thing of soap and I blew my nose.
You dropped the soap?
No, it was already dropped. I just stepped on it.
Well, that's even worse luck.
Yep.
So, there was a couple other surprises if you did do stuff. For one, Austin.
Yeah.
If you had gotten involved in that last fight, or had survived in there and tried to go and get involved in the fight, the animated armor would have come back and stopped you.
Nice! That would have been amazing.
That would have been a duel of the ages.
That's true, because he left it at Strahd. Like, hey, can you do the chances for me?
And
Strahd like,
Strahd did the opposite.
Amazing.
That's an Uno reverse if I've ever seen one.
That's awesome, but that means
I activate my
Lucas,
trap card, Mirror Force.
That means Lucas could have controlled it and just
Nah,
made it
separate
like
armor.
me.
True.
Haha. Do a funny dance.
I know, like
Actually,
in
you have
the,
control of that now because you are Strahd.
I know that like in the beginning
Not
you
worried,
were
though.
saying that like you had like a magic item in the beginning for everybody,
Yeah.
and then we fucked up and didn't get them.
Uh-huh.
What was mine?
What was yours?
He's got to pour through his notes.
Yeah, because I don't remember. Let me go to Google Docs real quick because I had it there.
I'm pretty sure mine was my cloak, which came in handy. It also is a cool item. I'm glad I came up with it.
No, yours was the silver sword.
Oh,
Yeah, because the sword only liked you.
true.
The judgmental sword.
Yes, the judgmental sword.
Okay.
It's staring at me judgmentally.
It's just
Just
floating there. Judgingly.
Honestly, that was like one of the best times we had was with the just sword. Just floating sword.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah.
Back when things were simpler. Back when we tried to debate whether or not we should buy and eat heroin pies.
I mean,
Hey, those were good times. What are you talking about?
Hey, listen. There's only one person that was the heroin addict here, and she's not here anymore. So you know.
Yeah. She's in rehab right now.
Yeah,
Can't defend herself.
she did want the heroin pie.
I mean, I think I made a joke about it near the end of the last episode, like when Tom,
Yeah.
the whole fact that she's like her own Dominion Dread. I'm like, yeah, she has heroin pies now.
Finally.
Yeah, I think it's gone.
Oh no!
You had
Lost
something-
to me and time.
You had something sick, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably like a gun.
Lost
I
media.
want to say it was a.
Suit of armor.
I think actually I changed to thinking about a suit of armor after you got, because you guys were supposed to get them all in the death house.
Yeah,
And
the one that got lit on fire.
Yeah, that's why I grabbed the orb, because I thought it was the cool magic item.
that was his magic.
It
Yeah.
was, just not yours.
And then he didn't appreciate me.
And didn't even use it.
Well, I forgot, like, all magic items.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be D&D if you actually used the magic items you found.
No, it would be my D&D.
Oh.
I pour over my inventory all the time because I'm a pack rat.
To be honest, I forgot to even add it to my inventory, which probably didn't help.
Jesus. You're like the opposite of me. I'd kill you if I had your character sheet. I'd strangle you with the 47 feet of rope I had left remaining in my inventory.
See, I don't use items. That's how you
He
would
just
be
lets
different.
the
feel like-
plebes use the items for him.
True.
I feel like you should play Barbarian. It feels like it fits you.
Well, I mean,
Honestly, I would like you to play a class
I
like
like
Barbarian.
spellcaster types a lot, and I'll just use spells instead of using items. So, I mean,
Yeah, but it would be a nightmare if you were a wizard because you would actually have to look at your spell book to do spells.
I look at
Well,
my
he
spell
looks
book.
at it's magic items and equipment and stuff. That's the issue, not
I mean,
spells.
I'm more referring to like when he gets new spells, he has to write them down in his spell book to transfer them, right?
Well, yeah, that's not the issue.
I would do that.
The issue is just
It's not that I can't use items.
the issue is just what does he look at more often?
Yeah.
He looks at his spell list more often than he looks at his item list.
Yeah.
That's fair. Warlocks and sorcerers are fun that way.
I tend to gravitate towards spellcasters in like everything, even like video games. Either that or a rogue.
But next campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next campaign.
Back to eternity.
There's going to be a small time jump. You okay there?
Yeah, I kicked something. We're good.
There's going to be a small time jump. And I may or may not retcon a few like names and stuff like that just to kind of
Oh no! Our 2 fans will be so upset.
Yep.
We have like 3.
But that's it. Like the entire first quote unquote season or whatever that you want to call it, all the stuff on the Eternity, that's more so just so you guys like appreciate your characters and like have had some history with each other. So that way if like you guys come close to death or something, maybe you don't want that to happen.
It would be a shame to lose my new BFF.
Would be a shame.
Because Nate and Techno are best friends now.
Yeah, we're bounty
Yeah,
hunter
so
partners.
everybody's gotten like settled in to like some amount of life here. So Nate and Techno are working together. Nate is doing bounty hunting, and Techno is her guy in the chair.
Yeah.
She's also had a makeover with this new system. She is way more.
I just imagined like we're on a motorcycle or something, and like Techno's the GPS.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. In the new system we're using, I got to
We're just like talking,
Nate,
and it's like, we're gonna fuck this guy. Oh, turn left right here.
Squirrel.
But yeah, in the
Squirrel.
In the new system we're
No,
using,
that's Austin.
I got to make Nade way more like how I envisioned her, because in like, Starfinder and everything, you gotta put points where it's appropriate. But like the Starfinder stuff is way fucking all over the place with like, punching stuff and shooting stuff and making explosives and stuff. And there was like 4 or 5 different stats that I was really trying to do well, and then this one lets
we're using stars without number.
Yes, we are switching from what was it?
Starfinder to stars without number.
This one I'm able to like, punch stuff effectively and shoot and make explosives pretty effectively with how it's set up.
It's a more streamlined system.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy because I imagine Nate being very capable of punching shit into the dirt.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna be real, Season 1 Nate was not very good at punching shit into the dirt. She could stab stuff, but my thing was shooting.
Nate has found her true calling, which is bringing people in, dead or alive.
I can bring you in hot, or I can bring you in cold.
And she's acquired a rival bounty hunter. It's a friendly rivalry, so you'll find out more about that character. And then Techno has been spending a lot more time free of a lot of the blockages that he had between his human and technological side, so he's a lot more less robotic. He's a lot more human.
A lot of the interactions with Nate has helped with that a lot too.
Maybe not the best role model, but
well, it's like Nate fits in perfectly with the entire planet as well. It's like everyone is like that.
This is good for me.
I mean, I don't need a role model per se. Like,
I've seen what you do on the Eternity. I don't think I want to follow you, but you are a real flesh person.
You're a safe person. Well, I'm not gonna say you're a safe person to be around, but I will say that it's better to have you on my side.
Yeah, it's safe to be around me if I like you.
Yeah.
Ace/Willis is working at a how do I want to? It's basically a shop. It's like a used parts shop for robotics and the like. it's more or less just a place where he had access to a workshop and something where he could work on tools, or not work with tools on like his drone or things of that nature. And it's run by an interesting alien woman, but it's a very large place. It's one of the largest buildings that's in the town is this thing that he works at, and it's basically just you and her that work there.
When you said that, my brain immediately went to like, what's her name, Maz from Monsters Incorporated. Always watching, Willis. Always watching.
You'll find out about the character.
Okay.
That's ominous.
But yeah, you've basically had enough time to really sit down and work on your craft that you feel deep inside you, your ability to work with robotics. And then there's Fish. Fish, I was told that initially wanted to work like where all the power was and where the money was, and so Fish decided to go to the bank, the one bank that's here. It's super heavily guarded and everything like that, but if you've got the right, if you control the bank, you control basically the well-being of the entire town.
What a girl boss.
So Fish is not she works the counter. She's just, it's like a 9 to 5 normal. Fish has very poor luck with being put into very, very soul-crushing positions at work. And so her entire time has been spent more or less just having a steady job and a steady life working at a bank. But her secret plan is to eventually, at some point, run this place.
Nice.
I just imagine Fish coming home from like, a 9 to 5, just pissed off at all the customers that are like, "Oh, can I put this sucker in my bank account?" And you're like, "No, that's what the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, "What am I talking about? You can't talk to me like that. I'm the customer. Put the sucker in my bank account."
First off, sir,
not even wrapped. It's just like
Yeah.
he took it out of the
First off, sir, that's not a sucker. That's a gun. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I had it in my kid's mouth.
Oh God! And then there's just like fucking Nade with her just fully armored and boots up, just sharpening one of 37 knives she owns. And
That's a
she's
very
like,
specific number.
Like, Techno, you have to put the missiles this way. They're gonna explode. Oh hey.
No, this goes
How are
here,
you?
that one
Don't
goes
step
there.
over there. The mine is over there, and I'm not sure if it's active or not.
Brutal. And then just me who comes back after working on my drones or whatever, like the mechanic shop, that you just see pulled out like a dry erase board, like trying to figure out how.
Who
You
killed my wife?
just have 2 strings: dead wife, ace.
And then just some numbers. I'm like, what do they mean?
What do they mean?
And then, like, at the bottom right, there's a very small one. It just says, "Why Nate so mean to me?"
No, it's like there's different. I have like a gauge of temperaments for you. So like when you come back from like a.
It's like a weather report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every time you come back.
There's like eyebrow positions.
There's a date and then Nade mood, frowny face.
and
Nate,
one
can
of-
you please,
Dog's
Nate,
getting up.
can you please mark this every time you wake up, just so I know. And then just like Nate comes home and Nate punches it, and you're like, "Time to go get a different job, so I'm out of the house for today."
that probably happened like day 2 of us being there.
Yeah.
Like, oop, all right, that's
Yeah, and the Eternity floats above in space. You can't see it from because it's a big ship and it can't be that close to the planet. But it's undergoing very quickly. It's undergoing dismantling, and everything that Fish isn't allowed to own is being taken.
just give me like a Husko ship.
Yeah.
but it's my ship.
Okay, it is guaranteed that it will still fly and it will still be airtight.
Not to worry, we're still flying half the ship.
Not even half ship. We'll have a ship. Like whole ship. It'll be literally just like a giant, like empty cargo hold.
Yeah, we're all just gonna be standing.
It's
there.
like when you move to a new house and you have to fill it with all the furniture.
Yeah,
and
it's
everything.
like
Yes. Yeah.
it's just gonna be like levels and levels and levels of just empty space, and we
Not
can just
even
see
levels,
the
it's
entire
so-
ship.
So yeah,
and
my
like,
goal, as of note, isn't power necessarily,
Well,
but
yeah.
money.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Run
Well,
the
money
town.
is power.
I imagine like in the middle of the ship where all the controls and cool shit used to be, there's just like a little tight steering wheel now, and that's it.
Yeah, I literally like the ship. You guys have completely free reign over what you want to do with it. It's a
Okay.
massive ship. You can put tons and tons of
I
stuff.
have
Let's
free
put a
reign over
sauna
what
in it.
I want to do with it.
Nate would
Okay, we
immediately
bring our
start
suggestions to
suggesting.
you, right?
Nate would immediately just start suggesting cool ass fucking guns to put on it.
Then there's me, who's probably the logistical person. Be like, hey, we probably need like crew quarters, beds,
A crew?
a crew.
Nate's just like, but like if we got this fucking like shock cannon, we could put vibro swords in it and plasma swords and shoot them in the enemy ship. And according to the book, that would do 78 D12 points of damage.
Okay, one metagaming. Two,
Well, yeah, what I mean by you guys can do whatever you want with the ship is I'm talking about just in-game terms, like you guys can... There's not a specific plan for the ship or anything like
Yeah.
that. If you guys want to put a sick swimming pool that takes up 30% of the ship, by all means, it's your ship.
That's the guest room.
Yeah.
Have
It's
to-
like guest room.
They gotta swim to it.
yeah,
Survive.
The bed's on the
Kick
other
'em.
side.
yeah. To live on the ship, you have to survive the guest room for 72 hours.
There's sharks in it.
But yeah, it's like you guys
Yeah, but-
you guys will basically have like an empty, small town with no one in it.
Is the machete there?
Yeah.
They couldn't remove it.
They couldn't get it off. They couldn't get it
Okay.
out.
I'm gonna go on
So
the
they
ship.
just-
and
It's gonna be
there.
like the sword in the stone for our ship.
So legitimately, minor spoilers, but when you guys get back onto the ship, there's going to be some fuzzy dice hanging off the ship.
Nice.
And that's
So,
it.
just as of note, on a scale of one being like a tiny like A-wing fighter, or certainly even smaller than that, and 100 being like a big like Pillar of Autumn carrier spaceship. About where does the Eternity sit?
I'm definitely imagining Pillar of Autumn.
So it's the ship is based off of the ship from Wall-E, and so it's supposed to be able to.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
kind of imagined that.
So it's supposed to be like you live your life on this ship. One sec.
What the fuck is going?
He's
What the fuck is going on over there?
barking at Odin. I don't know.
Could be barking at anything.
Wow, I didn't know the Odin, the god, was here.
I think we have bigger issues if that's the case.
Man, I rewatched Kung Fury with my two friends.
I love Kung Fury.
And I forgot
I have
Odin
the
was in it.
extras from the Blu-ray they released for a limited time. I need to put it on the server.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I like Kung Fury.
I meant to say earlier, I'm really excited because I backed the documentary they're making for Star Trek Voyager, the same people who did the Deep Space Nine one, and they're planning to remaster footage for that too if CBS allows them, which I imagine they will.
Do I have a speeder bike? I do, right? I'm pretty sure.
I feel like we talked about that.
Yeah, I think you've got like a cheap little like what you could get for what you could get kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
thing.
definitely like.
It's got a little sidecar
This
for
is so-
techno.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
it's definitely.
yes.
It's definitely so I could just like get over the sand in a fast manner and chase targets down if they get out of town.
Yeah.
Snipe some womp rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Run 'em
like
over.
for as like out of nowhere and like unheard of this planet is, it's regularly visited by people. They're all similar kinds of people, but it's still regularly visited. Like, it seems like every day ships are coming in and ships are leaving.
I feel like Nate does have friends and stuff and knows people because like she's got like perks for bounty hunters and stuff now.
Yeah.
And like I have
No,
cool
you're
info
definitely
stuff.
known around town.
Nice.
I mean, there's no way you wouldn't be.
Yeah, people know who Nate is. People also know who like all of the like bigger bounty hunters that like do a lot of work.
Even if
People
you
know who
weren't
they
a
are.
bounty hunter, the way you draw attention to yourself, there is no way the entire town would
Here's
know
the thing,
you.
though. You remember, this is a town full of people like Nate.
Yeah, but I
like-
feel like she has to be on another level.
People are. There's a lot of people like Nate, but there are people that are more normal and less like bombastically violent.
I think it was like the last episode where we were just on our own in the town and we were like winding down, and I was like, "Hey, where's a good place to get a drink?" And the one dude was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Anywhere's a good place to get a drink. Fuck you." And I'm like, "Fuck you," and he leaves. And I was like, I liked that guy.
yeah, it's good people here. Yeah, like all of you have found like your place here relatively quickly, or at the very least, you found a place where your personalities are accepted, yeah.
I feel like Nate's having an amazing time.
Probably. Like, the other thing is, your memories are coming back, but when we get to the first actual episode, I'll explain it more. But, like, there's something going on with you guys actually getting your memories back.
I'm kind of excited because I'm kind of treating this as a blank slate for Techno to like reinvent him, kind of.
Yeah. This is, and I do want that kind of for all of you guys. If you guys want to, like,
Because like I
take the
said,
opportunity to reinvent yourself in
I've
any way.
noticed towards the end of the campaigns, I kind of tend to get a little tired of it.
Yeah.
So you could completely remake your character because right now, we've structured your character based off of the Starfinder thing,
Right.
Because of the compatibility that.
Well, as far as like how he plays, I'm fine with. I just mean as a
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Are we doing the first episode in a week?
I guess whenever you're ready.
Just as of note, we're talking recording time. I don't know
Yeah.
when it would come out for you guys.
How many more episodes do we have to release during this recording of
Give
Mist of
me
Dread?
1 second. We have 4 episodes, I believe.
Jesus, that's a lot.
3 or 4.
But yeah, I'm also going to try and streamline things. Or when I say streamline things, I mean I'm going to try and not dawdle on one thing for too long. If you guys are moving along, we'll move along. Because I am realizing, especially with this Curse of Strahd, that like taking a year to do a campaign kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to take that long. After Eternity season 2, we don't. It is a bit up in the air what we're gonna do. There's a potential for Vampire the Masquerade. There's a potential for Shadowrun.
God, I would be hyped for either.
If we do Shadowrun,
There's
it'll probably be a new system.
Yeah, there's a potential for another just straight D&D 5e.
So I've got a ton of different games I would like to run in the future at some point.
Yeah.
If you guys have suggestions, maybe comment them or whatever.
We also
no
have the
promises, but we might take it into account.
Yeah, we also have the Conan Barbarian source books. Or at least one of them.
Oh man, if we did Conan the Barbarian,
I know absolutely nothing about Conan.
I'm playing Conan Exiles at the moment, and I would be my I'd be a big tough character again, and I want to be a small soft boy at some point. But if it's Conan the Barbarian, I'm being my slaver lady.
Okay. Yeah, we don't. But we've got options. That's a thing to keep in mind.
I imagine we would probably maybe do some small stuff before that too, though.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to do more one-shots, honestly. Yeah. I think the one-shots are really fun.
Yeah, one-shots are cool. I also would like just like minis, like 4 or 5 episodes or whatever.
Like how we did with the Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall was great.
Dude, Total Recall was...
The energy we all brought to that and how it just kind of came together last second was amazing.
I fucking wish I was...
I don't know if we talked about it.
I was listening to it in the lines at, like, Disney World.
Yeah. No, I don't know if we talked about it, but it literally, like, it was supposed to be something else, but then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be a fucking turtle. I'm gonna be a bard, and we just got talking about like band names and stuff and Total Recall, and we're like, well, now we got to do it.
Yep.
It was amazing. Literally last second, because I was making my character last second.
Those are some of the best characters. It just happens that way.
Yeah. It was amazing.
I will say I really did like a lot of the characters. I especially like, you know, I like your character.
Yeah.
Chris's character. What was it? Benny was Travis's character.
Yes. I have no idea. I can barely keep my character straight anymore, to be honest with you. Earlier, I'm like, what was my Curse of Strahd character? Oh yeah, Lucian. Let me log into D&D Beyond here.
Yeah, the energy we had with that, and then also it was great.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of hyper about this idea.
It progressively, like with each one of us, it progressively got more and more closer to like a straight man. Like you had like a spectrum, right? Like Stephanie's character was like pretty much dead serious.
Yeah.
Jesse, you were a little bit more silly. Chris, you were a little bit more silly, and my character was a complete joke.
Yeah. No, we just had a lot of fun with that, and I think it probably shows.
I will say again, like one of the best things for doing like either one shots or like miniseries, it gives me a chance to test out different classes and experiment.
Yes.
Like with Anola, which is my character for the Total Recall, I was able to play a rogue, and I played scout, and that was just like the funniest thing, because we made a lot of jokes about the fact like how I could just disengage and run away, like run really fast and stuff like that, and because she was Tabaxi, it was like even more ridiculous.
Shelby, oh yes, Shelby Shellington, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was our lead.
On that note, I would absolutely love to do more Total Recall.
Yeah.
Total Recall.
That's probably one of the most fun games I've ever played.
Oh my god. I could add in my Satyr monk.
Dude.
That like makes a bunch of alcohol and drinks and stuff.
That would be amazing.
And
You'd be the roadie.
No, because I'd join the band and my instrument would be just like a big jug that I blow into.
This is amazing. I love it already.
Pan jugs.
Yeah.
With a bunch of them.
Yeah, I just have a bunch of ones filled with different types of alcohol at various levels, and I use those to make music.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I especially like one of the big things I remember from that was literally we're like how our Tom introduced our characters. Like we're like, oh yeah, you guys have done your big adventure. You know, like,
man,
what do you do now?
Those fucking bagpipes, though. Am I right?
That was one
fucking incredible. The music. Oh my god.
That was one of the best things. Like we were like, oh yeah, we're going to visit our old friend. It's like past midnight.
Yeah. I was literally standing in line for the new Toy Story shit. I'm like, they're just breaking into some guy's house in the middle of the night.
Yep.
I think this is what made that campaign what it was.
We're so stupid.
Austin wasn't there, so all of us felt a little bit inside that we needed to express him to be there with us. So we all just like brought ourselves to 11, and we're like, "What would Austin do? Austin would just break in." And it's true, because when we started Curse of Strahd, right away you started breaking into people's houses and threatening the people in the house.
I threatened them because I'm protecting them.
Our characters, like, we dialed up the stupid to 11.
Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
It was amazing.
Although I don't know if I could do that Benny voice again.
Yeah.
Because
we gotta buy you a milkshake again.
Yeah, that hurt.
I was just standing there when I heard, yeah, I have a new appreciation for when Austin does the Nate voice. And I was like, that's goddamn right you do. Every single session, I was like,
yeah.
And it stuck with me for a while until I stopped doing the Nate voice. And boy, we're going back, baby.
Hell yeah. Just make sure you get.
Then there's like me. I just stopped doing the voices.
Yeah. Well, no, you just don't do. You don't do.
Or
voices.
I change it completely.
You go into like you speak a particular way.
Yeah.
Like, Techno speaks a particular way.
This is true.
It doesn't really have an accent.
So for our next campaign, everyone here knows about it, but just so I'm also putting it out on here, I'm in the process of programming a digital character sheet for Stars Without Number, and hopefully combined with World Without Number, as well as some DM tools for Travis to use during it.
Yay!
Pretty awesome stuff.
When I get it functioning like to a point that I'm okay with using it. See, I bought all the, actually just now I finished buying the last of all of the Stars Without Number and Worlds Without Number content that Kevin Crawford's put out. I'm actually going to, but for us, I'm going to give us access to all of the books. So I'm going to go through the books and put everything in there. But I also want to make a second version of the webpage that's just the free content that he puts out. And then send it to check in with him, hey, is this alright? And then try to...
I can't imagine he'd be opposed.
Yeah, he's super... From what I can see, I've only looked up a little bit, it's like contacting him will be real easy because he's active on Reddit. I could message him and he'll answer. And the OSR community is very, very big on...
Stuff
it would only bring more attention to his stuff.
Yes. And so
and make it way easier to play.
I want him to take a look at it, so I'm going to send it to him and then say if there's anything.
How cool would it be if he promoted us, though?
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But if I get the okay from him, I'm going to post that. I'm going to make a webpage and post that in the Stars Without Number, World Without Number subreddits and stuff like that, so people can use it. Because
Sick.
When I was getting ready for this, I was like, it's got to be a character sheet or something.
Yeah.
There's not. There's nothing that works really well. Or anything
Not
like that.
yet.
Not yet. Hopefully I'll be done.
Yeah, we talked about this off podcast, but it's really surprising me that there isn't more stuff like D&D Beyond. The stuff that is out there just isn't quite there.
Lots of Excel files.
Yeah.
People have made Excel spreadsheets.
Paradox is making a Vampire the Masquerade one, which I'm excited for, but there doesn't really seem anything else that's that comparable.
Their system is a little simpler, though, so it's easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, now that I've been doing it...
Vampire the Masquerade is kind of a simple system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
It seems like it might be more complicated than it is when you're reading about it, but in actual play, it's not.
Yeah, I feel like
much.
that comes more from the way the books are laid out.
Yes. The character creation is a bit of a mess.
Yeah, you're kind of going back and forth.
Which is why you need this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, specifically for the world we're on, I don't know if this will be useful, but I just bought the Other Dust book, which is meant to be a Fallout-style campaign setting supplement for Stars Without Number. So it'll have things that you might find on a world that's, a little bit less technologically advanced as what's in Stars Without Number.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
excited about Eternity.
Yeah.
I'm excited about playing Stars Without Number.
It's an interesting system. It'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, there's a few things that are a little odd with it, especially coming from like a more traditional background.
D&D stuff.
And the biggest one is 0 equals not trained. knowledgeable, right?
No,
I think Zero's trained.
Zero
isn't
means
it?
trained.
Yeah. 0 is trained in something, and then 1 is like you're real good at it.
You're competent.
Yeah. So it's a little odd in that
Small
counterintuitive,
numbers.
you should say, or you could say.
Yeah, the idea behind 0 being trained is that you know how to do it, but you're not so good that you get a bonus.
It makes sense when you explain it, but
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
thinking about it just
If you're just, like-
just trying to figure it out, it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's
In play, it can be a little confusing sometimes, but
So yeah, so other campaigns that I would like to do in the future, just as a go. I know I've mentioned these at different points, but first off, I'd like to be a player in a 5e game. And I
yeah, if we
Yeah.
do 5e again, I would probably DM that.
yeah, because I've built tons of 5e characters.
I would really like to play like something in Middle Earth or something like that. That would be sick. Or Star Wars. I would also love that.
Yeah.
Man, we had a Star Wars campaign in the past, and boy, that was the time. I fucking loved that one.
Or Star Trek even. That'd be awesome.
I'm not smart enough to do that.
I need
You don't
to
have to
watch
be.
some
Roll for
Star Trek.
Technobabble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
The other thing-
Technobabble big style.
I want to do, and I think I said to everyone here that I want to do this, but just on one thing that I want to do is Final Fantasy VII as a campaign.
Yeah.
Just I want to find out if there's any way that I can get permission from Square Enix to use the music. I know that they've got some actual stuff that's like you can use amounts of the music based on a license thing. That they've got a whole thing with that I need to really look into. But I want to give people who have no idea what it's about, and part of the reason that I want to do this because my dad has volunteered to when we get to it play as Sid.
Nice.
And you said I was gonna be Cloud because I've never
Yes.
played it.
Yes.
Okay.
That makes you very well suited to being Cloud.
I think if I remember correctly, you were gonna have me be like one of the.
We're probably going to rethink that
Sure.
because before it was just a matter of number of people, but
Yeah.
that was with a completely different group of people.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So with this group, I would have it differently.
Okay.
But other thing I would like to do at some point is a One Piece.
One Piece campaign.
Yeah.
I
Now that I know that there's actually like a considerable like
yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a One Piece campaign.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
I would like to do it. It's just I am very curious how it would go. Is all I'm gonna say.
So
I don't want to get invested in it.
I don't want to have to watch all of it.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
No, I wouldn't mind watching it. I would like to watch it.
So-
I don't want to watch all of it.
loosely, there's a couple different ways that you can approach a One Piece campaign because there's different eras. You can take place like pre everything and like the earliest where piracy is not like exactly a huge thing, but there's pirates around and world's overall mostly oceans, so there's always going to be pirates of some kind. But then you've got the Grand Age of Pirates, and that's there's pirates galore everywhere. And you've got a huge period of that before the start of the show. Then you could have a campaign that's concurrent at the same time as One Piece, which is very viable because the author went out of his way to make tons of room in the story for other characters that are like parallel essentially, because there's 4 major oceans and those lead into a central area that then splits off into a bunch of different paths. And so it's very easy to do concurrently with the main story. And so depending on which ones of those, you can do all sorts of different things. And it's mostly just random. It would be up to me as DM to try to come up with interesting stuff, which I feel like I could do pretty well. there was something else too. Some other campaign idea I had. But yeah.
We all sit in silence as wait for you to think of it.
But yeah, one of the things I would like to just play in a couple campaigns as a player, and I'm going to be doing that in the next one. So
Yeah.
Oh
I
I
also want to run a one shot. I feel like the one shot that I've proposed and really want to do wouldn't be recorded because it'd be the twins.
Yeah, we didn't record that.
We didn't record that one.
We could just like make an intro for it.
I guess. But
I feel like even without context, it would be fun for a lot of people.
There'd be a lot
because of what it is.
There'd be a lot of in jokes, like some spoilers for that would be like.
I mean,
the twins would run their magic candy factory, and all the Oompa Loompas would be grungs instead. So the poison dart frogs, and they'd have sent out. They'd have. The whole Willy Wonka thing, but they'd rig it themselves, so only their friends
we also
showed up.
could point them towards investment opportunities we talked about the campaign.
one of them,
One of them we talked heavily
I believe the
about.
first
One of
one
them
we
we went like basically over the whole campaign.
Yeah.
The first one. I'm pretty sure it was the first one.
Yeah, I'd be really. It'd be really funny if somebody chose to not have their original character in there, because then it would just make the twins super confused as to why this person showed up and them rigging the game didn't work.
It could just be like,
Well, considering how Copper
if you
ended
haven't
that,
listened
I
to
would
this
probably
episode,
make
go
a new
listen to
character.
that.
I know exactly what I would do. I'd bring in Pebble.
That's it. I want to go back to because I'm among all the other things I'm doing, I've also got my own campaign setting I've been steadily building over the past few years. I'd love to go back to the characters that we did.
Yeah. I do like our characters.
Oh yeah, Malbith is my character's name.
My disintegration cleric.
Wonder if Wilhelm died.
Oh, definitely.
You never know. Actually, no. No, I don't think he did.
He just left until we got like a replacement.
Well, I mean, it's up to you.
Oh. Well, the whole point of the character is that he wouldn't die. He would just,
regenerate.
have no... Well, no, the point of Wilhelm was that he didn't have any fear about, doing stupid things. Like touching magic items or anything like that. So, for him to continue to do that, he can't have died.
Yeah, so actually, you were Pebble in that one. And
There's Pebble in that one, yeah.
Yeah, and
I love Pebble.
Yeah, that's when we did the dynamic between the two of us, because I was a Dragonborn.
I was a little kobold.
And it was kind of
What was I?
Little AB kobold.
you were both changelings.
You were
Yes,
a
that's right,
paladin,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You were the paladin, you were the cleric.
Yeah, we were both.
Man, it feels like forever. It has been a hot
it was a
minute,
while
but it feels
ago.
like
It
longer.
was a real long
Over a
time
year.
ago.
Yeah, it feels like longer than that, though.
We were both changelings from the same village and everything, and we were
Armon
super
of the
super
Kez
close,
tribes.
and we would only be next to each other at all times, pretty much.
Attached at the hip.
Yeah.
And then Pebble decided to become that third wheel off his own volition.
Yeah, you guys, you had
I
that.
kept on calling your mom.
Yeah.
You had that fight with the
The other kobold.
the drunk pixie and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sprite. He was a Sprite.
Remember when we were in the initiation ritual or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go in too.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah,
you just start stealing from all
I wanted to steal from them, but they didn't have anything.
Yeah.
No one had anything. And
If there was anything to steal, he would have been successful, but there was nothing.
I think I had I drew on someone's face, didn't I?
I think you drew on mine.
Yeah, I drew on someone's face, and then I was like, all right, whatever. And I stayed in the room. I just walked off to the side and sat down.
I like the entire tangent we went on of me going shopping at a respectable place and then going, you're with what clan that supplies super amazing fabric?
Yeah, maybe I could get you some, some...
and they just showered me in gifts, and I was like...
some connections.
Yes.
Walks out of the store, immediately forgets who they were.
Yeah.
You took everything from me.
I do
don't
believe
even know
I
who you are.
did set up a thing with my clan.
I think you did,
one.
actually.
You did.
Yeah.
You sent a letter, actually.
You also still have that spider you're not supposed to have.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the spider I was not supposed to have. Nice.
Because the audience definitely does not know this, but the whole thing about your tribe is that you've got herds of actually herbivore spiders that eat like grass and flax and stuff like that, and produce like amazing silk. And
I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of it, but kobolds in your campaign setting don't come from the Underdark or from underground.
No. But I made some room for that, and that the first
pebbles.
layer down isn't like... Because the idea is that I was stealing this kind of from the early D&D stuff, is that the deeper you go, the more like the dungeon goes after you. And so it's like, this world is built on the ruins of an old destroyed world. And so what is beneath is all of the old world. And it's kind of got this malice to it that's will go after you. So the deeper you go, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
But let's just say the top layer of dirt and rock and stuff is not like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty straight.
Well, he's from underground, and there are big spiders underground. So when he saw those things, he immediately thought, "Oh my God, those are the big spiders that killed my family or whatever."
8-legged freaks.
Yeah.
Spider racism.
Arachnid phobia.
Yeah, and I think it was Zell was yours, right?
Yeah, Cell and Zell.
Zell.
And Mal.
Pebble and Mal, yeah.
We're both
you
monks,
made a
too.
spider taming thing with some sticks to dance in front of a
I
wild
danced in
spider.
front of the spiders.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I also, I always remember, I'm like, well, I'll just take inflict wounds because that, is
Oh yeah,
the
that'll
most
be good.
damaging way to
Obliterates
someone
literally
first.
everything.
I literally, I don't think I rolled below a 7 on
I think-
any roll for
I
that,
think your
which-
disintegration count is at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, there was I think an enemy that had 10 HP.
At some point, there
or
needs to be
something.
someone
And I
who's
go
hiring us to fight someone, and they're like, and no disintegration.
Yes! I love it.
I liked when I dealt the 37 damage.
And
to
I just
10
imagine
HP
at this point, Zell is known as the destroyer, so they're like, no disintegration.
Please.
The one of the best days I remember is we went. I can't remember the instance, but we went into this bar or a tavern.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it was the guy that was in charge of it was a necromancer. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
But we knew he was connected to one of the bad guys that we were supposed to find. And we started fighting, and then Zell persuaded him to stop. Went up, says it's okay, we're all chill. Then cast inflict to his wall, patting him, and just disintegrated.
You know,
Oh, man.
it was like
Thanos snapped him away.
Two of
Literally.
us.
And then,
Two of us went into the bar, started talking to the guy, and we thought he was real suspect. And then two of us stayed outside and was poking at the weird dudes at the front, and they found out that those were corpses just getting puppeted around so that nobody thought anything was wrong. And they ran in with weapons drawn and everything, and the necromancer's like, "Oh, you're here to fight us," and we're like, "No, they're just fucking stupid. They're new hires. They're mercenaries.
They're new
stupid.
hires.
These guys are cool. These guys are cool." And everybody was standing there, and the necromancer, I rolled high on persuasion. The necromancer's like, "All right, well, control your dumb hires or whatever." I'm like,
Dumb
"It's okay."
hires.
And I'm like, "It's okay. They're new. It won't be a problem for much longer." And I patted him on the back and cast inflict wounds.
it just literally disintegrates the man. I think that's what we had. I think we still had Will come at that point. And
Yeah, I
then,
think so.
Yeah.
I think, Travis, you said, like, Wilhelm, like, literally contemplates his life for a minute. Just watching, like, two people, like...
Because
get
Wilhelm
stuff.
was just like regular town guard,
Yeah.
retired. Like, what am I doing with these people?
He's like, I just witnessed 2 disintegrations. Should I really be with these people?
And so
I like that. Like
I
it's like
switched over to Pebble, a much more fitting character for the group.
it's like canon that's the only times that has happened. But that's the only thing that's the only time they've ever seen me cast that spell, which was when I was like. That was the wildest fucking rolls in the
You got
world.
your Tupaki, you can do the snake dance. There's not snake, you can do your spider dance.
The spider dance.
So yeah, I want to make more creatures like that. I like the whole world building aspect.
Oh, my sword dance. There's Pebble.
Oh yeah, that's the sword dance.
I forgot about that.
Failed horribly every time, and then I would just take the sword and roll around on the ground.
I also liked how we could like build off of the lore too ourselves and suggest stuff. I believe one of the whole things with like food and stuff. I'm like, what? Aren't they like by the coast a lot? Shouldn't they have like seafood? Or was that a different one? That was the one with I forget his name. Lime.
Yeah, that was a different one.
Yeah. But I like that one too because of that.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things with, the world building of that setting was just purely and totally it was fun to make up, like, a world. And so I wanted to make as many creatures as possible, and, like, the tribes gave me an opportunity to, like, really explore, like, different, potential, like, okay, well, what does this tribe do? What's their thing? What do they do? How do they work together with this whole thing? And
I also liked how Zell.
Magnets, how do they
Zell-
work?
I like how Zell was like, what cleric thing did I do? Was I life domain? No, I was
No,
trickster.
you were trickster.
trickster.
I was trickster
Because
domain
Albus,
because I like.
think it was-
Elvis.
Yeah, Albus
Yeah.
was your god.
Yeah, Alvis was my god, and then Sal joined like the Order of Ghost Punchers.
The Watcher.
The Elf Watcher, I think.
The Elf of the Watcher, yeah.
And then there was
Have you
me,
ever
'cause
seen a ghost that didn't need punching?
the funny thing is with me, I was really tied between 2, and I talked to Tom. I'm like, I want to do both these, and I'm like, they're both really good. And this was my first time playing Monk, so I did Kensei, and the other one was Sun Soul.
So there's a reason that Kensei was actually a good, solid choice for that setting, because the first thing I made with this setting was the gods, and one of them is like a guy, like he's a god, but he wanders around as just a regular guy. But his whole thing is that he, is a wanderer who uses one sword, and so his influence on the world exists. He's just not like anything beyond just a guy most of the time.
Nice.
He's just a dude.
Guys being dudes. God, look,
And-
is
and
there anything
remember
more
correctly, it was
beautiful than
also,
that?
like,
It's just
in
gods
your-
being dudes.
in the Pantheon.
I wanted you guys to run into him at some point, because I wanted to have a whole. Because I was kind of inspired by Critical Role's whole thing with the Wanderer, or the Traveler,
Yeah.
and the stuff with that. And it's like,
Wow, like in Star Trek.
like I wanted him to be like, he'd be like, kind of like, yeah, I don't really have any clerics or anything like that. It's like I don't really have like any rules and stuff or anything like that. And I was gonna have him just ask you for like, if I were to start like an official religion as a god, what should I do? And would be a whole like conversation with that. Like,
Ooh, that would be fun.
that could still happen if we go back to those characters.
True.
But that's also in the same setting as a campaign that me, Travis, Tyler, and Dan were doing. And so could have you show up with them and go to their tea house. because they have a tea house.
That would be
Nice.
so interesting for Travis. You'd have to play like 2 different characters.
Oh my god. Having to play, oh god, I can't remember his name now. Tokuda.
Yeah, Tokuda and Pebble at the same time.
Oh my god.
Switching between the two of them.
Here's the problem. Both of them would want to talk to each other,
Yeah.
like, really bad.
Pebble will want to talk to anyone really bad.
Yeah, well, Tokuda's, like, this, like, 7 foot tall, massive, giant tiger man.
I see.
And his favorite thing to do is to listen to people's stories, like what they've done in their life and stuff like that. So he like will sit down and listen to
Pebble just going on about his philosophy.
Yes, and Tokuda would pay attention and I see.
In some
Yes,
ways,
rock strong.
in a lot of ways, that actually like I know I like stop saying this, but like in character, I'm sure at that point all of us would be thankful that that character exists just to listen to Pebble.
Yeah, to get it out of his system.
It will never be out of his system.
True.
Yeah.
There is only Pebble.
If anything, that'll encourage him.
Yeah, that did remind me of another couple campaign ideas that I wanted to do. Whether as a player or a DM. One is I want to do a scarcity one where we follow the rules like way too strictly than necessary, but we deal with encumbrance and we start with like absolutely nothing, and have to work our way to finding oh, we beat up this guy, well he happens to have a dagger, so who holds the dagger? And he's
Once the Spelljammer book is out, I would love to do that.
yeah. And then there was another campaign idea I had where I wanted to do, and once again I would be perfectly fine if someone else like wanted to run something like this, but this is one that I would want to DM personally, is a in whatever setting a like business management one where it's like it's an adventure, but the whole point is to like if we did Shadowrun, it's all about running a ramen stand, and like the full party, and I would, without like going off away from running a ramen stand, it wouldn't be like, oh, running the ramen stand is a side thing. No, the story would be about running the ramen stand, and I would want to make it as epic as possible. And with everything from like what ingredients you have, and like, oh, there's this ingredient being shipped in here and this time and that sort of thing, and like you have rivalries between other ramen stands and other
mafia shows up and it's like,
exactly.
got a nice ramen stand here.
Exactly.
Kill the mafia, the entire mafia, so that you could just run the ramen stand without interruption. Become the mafia using ramen.
Kiryu shows up.
And I was gonna have like all sorts of like things that would affect like the success of it, like whether or not you could get upgrades for the ramen stand and that sort of thing.
Upgrade the facility furniture.
Oh man, there was a book that
Install
I
a
ordered
turret for the
a
ramen
very
shop.
long time ago that
You need a
still
koi
hasn't
pod.
fucking shipped, and I really,
Fucking
really
EWeb.
want it. They took the money out of my account, so I'm assuming I'm getting this book at some point soon, or at least a PDF. But I
What
ordered
book?
the Heckna campaign thing, the Dark Carnival kind of thing, and I wanted to. If I got that and it looked really cool, it seems to be really cool. I got like the campaign thing and like the deck of cards to build different campaigns with, and I was just gonna run a small thing with that. if that turned
Man,
out
there's so
to
many
be really
games I
cool.
want to do. I'd love something
Dark
more like
Carnival
that,
would be really fun, and
like
I
the
think I could
Apocalypse
bring.
one we did, the Dune-inspired one.
I feel
That was
like I
cool.
could bring real good energy to a Dark Carnival.
Oh dang, the Spelljammer doesn't come out until August? Wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing Eternity next, so...
Yeah, but it's just...
Like, even if we finished it, we wouldn't want to do that after anyway, so...
Yeah.
Well, we should probably end this here.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us ramble on for however long
God knows
we
how
did.
long.
We rambled on for 1 hour and 29 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's not as bad as I thought.
No. But I want to watch something, so
Yeah.
Understandable.
go away. Leave me
love you.
alone.
All right, stay tuned for the podcast we do.
Yeah.
Eternity.
It'll happen
season
when it happens.
Campaign 2.
Big style.
Fuck
Big
yeah.
style.
That's the name of this market crash. Fuck yeah.